hope you're having a great Monday. What is up, guys, and welcome to the FPL Today FPL Captaincy Call video for Game Week 34. In this series, we try and pick up the best captain going into the next game week to hopefully help you guys make the decisions on your transfer and potentially who you're putting the captaincy armband on. So guys, if you do enjoy this series and it helps you pick your captain, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell for FPL, and let's get straight into the video. So we start things off with the team that have just lost the Carabao Cup final, and that is Tottenham Hotspurs, who did of course miss a fixture in game week 33 in the Premier League. Now with that part of their season over, they come back into the Premier League with some very favourable fixtures, with Sheffield United and Leeds in the next two, although Leeds have of course just kept a clean sheet against Manchester United, and of course Sheffield United did the same thing against Brighton, which isn't exactly what you want to see before you're picking your captain. They do then have Wolves, Aston Villa and Leicester for the rest of the season, so if you did hold on to your Spurs options or you thought of bringing them back in for this fixture, then these are the stats that will help you pick your captain. First off, we have to look at Kane, because Kane is probably a decent captaincy shout for the rest of the season, as long as he doesn't aggravate the potential injury he got in game week 32. Now, disclaimer, I haven't watched the Carabao Cup yet because I have been at work, so I don't know how fit he looked in that game, so potentially he's not a great captaincy shout, but off of the stats alone, 3.70 XG, XA at 0.68 and expected goal involvement at 72%, which is incredibly high against the Sheffield United side that have conceded 11 goals in the last 6, with 18 big chances conceded. And if we look at how many big chances Kane generally gets in 6 game weeks, he's managed to get 6 big chances, so that's at least 1 a game, with 22 total shots on goal, 13 from inside the box. Now, if Kane isn't playing for some reason, we could look at Heung-min Son and Gareth Bale if you have either of them or think of bringing them in. Heung-min Son is a more certain starter, definitely, with 1.67 XG and an XA of 0.57 and expected goal involvement at 38%. But potentially, if they play like they did in game week 32, the second fixture against Southampton, Gareth Bale, of course, did get on the score sheet in that game, and they did play a kind of system where Son and Bale could switch positions, and Bale did score in that game against Southampton as well as Son. His XG is actually a lot lower at 0.33, but we know the quality of player that Bale is if he's on form and putting all of his effort in. XA is at 0.18 and expected goal involvement is 11%. And of course he has had a lot less minutes than Son and Kane. Kane having 449 minutes in the last 6, Son with 334. And then of course Bale coming in with 150. However, in those 150 minutes, he has managed to get 4 shots on goal, 2 on target, with only 1 from inside the box, but also has had 3 key passes as well. We move on to the next team that could potentially have a captain for us in this game week, and it is Chelsea with Fulham at home. Now, the issue with Chelsea, of course, is they don't seem to be scoring a lot regularly, and of course they do have some players that aren't necessarily in form. Timo Werner was a consideration, but even with him scoring in game week 33, he doesn't really look on form right now. Seems a bit uncertain if he has any time to think about his chances. And there are 3 players with better underlying stats than him and come in at cheaper prices. Now you have Mason Mount with expected goals of 1.54, expected assists of 1.82 and expected goal involvement of 31%, and that's against a team like Fulham that have expected goal conceded at 8.33 and 10 goals conceded in the last 6. So they're conceding more than they're expected to, and they've also conceded 12 big chances and have got no clean sheets in the last 6 game weeks. Chelsea themselves have Fulham next. It is Man City after that, so potentially you don't want to transfer in a Chelsea player, although of course Chelsea did beat Man City in the FA Cup. Then it's Arsenal, Leicester and Aston Villa after that. You could also look at Pulisic, who has an expected goals at 2.14, expected assists at 1.07 and expected goal involvement at 30%. So he beats Mount with expected goals, but falls out to him with expected assists. And then, of course, there is Havertz. He did miss game week 33, but he's got the highest XG at 2.66. Expected assists a lot lower at 0.52, and expected goal involvement highest of the 3 with 36%. And then finally, we are looking at West Ham for our final captaincy team with the likes of Lingard and Bowen considerations. Now, they have just come off of a 1-0 defeat to Chelsea, but Chelsea, of course, have proven that they are quite defensively solid, minus that West Brom game that happened recently. So maybe West Ham will look to bounce back against a Burnley side that have just scored 4 and kept a clean sheet against Wolves. However, expected goals conceded for Burnley, is even with that clean sheet, is 9.76, with 9 goals conceded, clean sheets only 1 in the last 6, and 14 big chances conceded. Lingard, of course, is the man on form at West Ham right now. He's got XG of 2.50, an expected assists of 0.47, and expected goal involvement at 37%. And Bowen, slightly lower with expected goals at 2.32, expected assists at 1.39, and expected goal involvement actually higher than Lingard's at 45%. West Ham themselves still have some decent fixtures to come. They have Burnley, of course, in the next fixture, but then it's Everton at home, Brighton Hove Albion away, West Brom away, and then Southampton at home. So you could potentially bring one of these players in and then stick the captaincy armband if you don't own them already. Lingard, however, is pretty template right now, so if you don't have him already, that would be a bit of a surprise. But captaincy armband could potentially be put on Lingard for this game week. As for what I'm going to do, to be honest, for me, it's between Kane and Lingard. I'm going to watch the highlights of the Carabao Cup and see if I think Kane's injury isn't too big a concern from game week 32. If it isn't, then I'm most likely going to captain Harry Kane. Lingard is probably going to be my backup, although I might take a punt on one of the bigger games, for instance, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Although, to be honest, Bruno Fernandes hasn't been in form, and Liverpool did waste a lot of chances against Newcastle. Last week I shouted out Salah as the shield pick and the sword pick being Iheanacho. Salah did manage to convert 1 chance, however should have probably got more, and I have actually captained Iheanacho, so we'll look to see what happens on Monday to see if I've made the right decision there. And that is it for this captaincy video, so if you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell for FPL, and also make sure to check out the links in the description down below, like Twitter, JNO_FPL, where you can get involved with the Game Week 34 preview when I post a tweet out asking for topics to cover. With all that being said, I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.